Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving my review for the new Hellraiser on Hulu. Both me and my wife watched this one, but she just, yeah, Hellraiser. Uh, her review for it would be boo.
That's literally what I said when it ended.
So, I think she says she would give it like a half a star, maybe a 1 star.
And I've never
Out
been
of
a
5.
big fan of him at all.
Yeah.
I will say, compared to the original, I wouldn't even grade. This one at least gets a 0.5, you know. It's a little bit better. Remakes are always better for me anyway. Not by much for this one.
I'll start by saying I've never read the books, so I don't know how accurate this is to the book.
Don't care about that. It's Hellraiser.
I know. Well, some probably do. I have seen all the others, the ones with Doug Bradley. I've seen the ones without Doug Bradley. So, when they announced it, I was interested, very interested, but skeptical, and hesitant because the ones without Doug Bradley haven't been good. And the ones with Doug Bradley have been questionable, but they're watchable for what they are. So going into this one, I went in with trying to go in with an open mind, hoping for the best, hoping that the story would be better than what we've been getting. So I'll start with the positives, because there is a lot of positives with this one, because I did enjoy this one more than I thought I would. Maybe it's just because my expectations were low. I don't know. But I thought the cinematography was really nice. I thought the darkness of it worked. I thought it, especially a couple scenes there, when they're in this house, it worked out really well.
To me, I think the other big problem I have with it is, to me, it didn't feel like a horror movie. It felt different, and I didn't like that at all. Like, you would expect it to be a horror feel to it because of what it is, but it doesn't. It doesn't even feel like a slasher to me. It just feels like something really random.
I'll get to that when I get to the negatives I have for it. I like the cinematography. I like the special effects. I thought the Cenobites looked good. She thought they looked like Avatar people.
The makeup looked like something they would do in Avatar.
But I thought they looked good. I mean, there was they didn't have that same style look as Doug Bradley and the other Cenobites in the original movies did. But they still didn't look bad. They still looked decent. You do get Chatterer. I believe is the name of the Cenobite, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. I'm glad they brought his character back. I will say I'm trying to do this without spoiling, because I don't have to put spoilers on the title. But I will say they take a turn with his character that I wasn't a fan of. It could have been what happened to him in the book, but I didn't like that. But it could be because he's my favorite Cenobite next to Pinhead. But anyways, but I thought special effects was good. I love the effects, the looks of the Cenobites and stuff. Gore wise was good. Could have been a little bit better, but I was hoping for more I mean, it was still great, but uh, I would love to have seen, I guess, more blood splatter or something. I don't know. It felt like we could have had more for a Hellraiser movie. Um, but it was still really good. Still really good. I thought the acting was good. Uh, Especially by the main girl. I don't know her name. I don't have nothing in front of me to read. So, but I thought she did really well. I thought she was probably the best. Would you say she's the best in the movie acting
The
wise?
main girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Now as for our Pinhead, or they never call it Pinhead.
I was worried they would do a like her regular voice or just a girl voice. I do like how they made it a little bit more on the masculine side, because it
They
made
auto
it,
tone her voice.
yeah, it made it a little bit more creepy, even though it didn't really work, obviously, because the rest of it wasn't like horror feel. I feel like at least they had that aspect of it.
I liked her. I thought she did a good
And
job.
it didn't look too girly in the face.
Yeah. I think she did as good of a job as she could with what she had to work with. I think Doug Bradley is just so iconic. He will always be everybody's Pinhead. Um, but she was still really good for and done the best she could with what she had. Um, but to go into my negatives, which we touched a little bit on, um, me and my friend Noah had talked about this on the phone after we got both watched it, and I do agree with him. It had some unneeded sex scenes in it. Neither scene really made sense with the story. They could have said uh, the one was very random at the very beginning. It's not really a spoiler because it happens seconds within the movie or minutes within the movie. Um, and then there's another one that to me still was unneeded. So it felt like they were just throwing sex in to throw sex in, and they wasn't even giving you any like they didn't give you the boob shots or anything. It was just basically them. You just saw them. You didn't see any kind of private areas. So it just was like, why are this? Why even put them in here? What's it doesn't do nothing for the story. It's not relevant. Why are we putting them in? Um, and then uh, you know, the runtime I was worried with a little bit because it was a little bit longer, but surprisingly, it didn't drag for me. It actually went by at a fairly decent pace, but I think I could see where people could feel like it would drag because everything was kind of slow. The Cenobites were kind of slow. It wasn't a very uh it was trying to build that, I guess, whatever that feeling that they're trying to give, uh anxiety, whatever it is they're trying to build on. It's a very slow kind of to get to that big kill. So I could definitely see where people could say, it dragged. I can't argue with that. It didn't, surprisingly for me. Um, and I don't know. It was overall, it was missing something. It just, it had moments where overall I think the cinematography was good, but at the same time, there was a couple moments in it that was really good. It was really dark, creepy. But then I felt like there's times in the movies where it just didn't feel dark enough. I felt like the Cenobites while they looked good, they weren't creepy enough. They weren't scary enough for me personally. I felt like what we got back with Doug Bradley and the Cenobites back then looked better. That might be controversial opinion, but I mean they still looked good. Don't get me wrong, they still looked good. Um, but they could have done. They needed to do something. It was just overall, the feel of the movie was missing something, and it just didn't have that whatever was missing. It didn't give it that push I needed to get it to a 5 out of 5 star. Um, even with the sex scenes added in, if it would have gave me that extra push, I still would have gave it the 5 out of 5, even with the unneeded sex scenes. Um, but if it just had that something that was missing, and like my wife said, something was just off a little bit, and I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it was, but I didn't hate it. It was still really good. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I was going to go with 3, then I was going to go 3.5, but each one just felt too low still. So, because I mean, I honestly, it pretty much gave me everything I would want, but at the same time, I wished it could have given me just a little bit more, and I guess that's just what's missing is I want it to be just a little bit better, little bit darker, a little bit more gorier, because I'm a gore hound. Gorier. Because I'm a gore hound. I love my blood. I love seeing blood fly everywhere, body parts fly everywhere in movies like this. It's Hellraiser. Um, but I would definitely say check it out. Um, don't just turn away and not watch it just because it's not Doug. Just because it's not Doug Bradley and it's somebody else in the role. Because it's definitely better. It's way, way, way better than the last couple we got that was without Doug Bradley. Um, so definitely check it out. I mean, it's on Hulu, so if you have Hulu, it's going to be free to watch on there. Um, we'll see if it gets a sequel. We'll see if it ends up getting a physical release. Uh, if it does get announced a physical release, then I'll have to decide. Kind of, do I pick it up? Um, maybe we'll see, but because I did give it a 4 out of 5, so that's usually a warrant of a pickup. So, um, but I know it's just something. Obviously, my wife's not going to watch again, but uh, I could always watch it upstairs or something without her if I get in the mood to watch it again. But yeah, definitely check it out, and hopefully you enjoy it as much as me or even more, because I know some people are saying it's the best Hellraiser yet. Um, I don't know if I would say that, but it's definitely better than the last couple we got. So, um, but I'm also not as hard on the Hellraiser sequels. I have fun with them for what they are. I don't own them no more because it's not a franchise that I really can revisit because she doesn't like them. So I just don't have. I didn't keep the entire series, but or the entire franchise, but I do own the first two at least. So, which is majority of what people would say would be the best to own, anyways. So, but anyways, I think I've gone on long enough. So, please comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for our videos, and we will see you all in the next one.